Hey guys, welcome back to Overdrive Reviews. Here I am Alex. Today we are checking out an A220, a 2021 A220 from Mercedes Benz. This is the smallest car and most entry-level car that Mercedes Benz makes. You might want to call it a bite-sized Benz, right? An A220 with 4MATIC all-wheel drive. The smallest car of the Mercedes Benz lineup. It used to be the C-Class, then it used to be the CLA. This now, the A-Class, is even smaller. But it's perfect for folks who maybe don't have a ton of money and are younger, but want to get in a Mercedes Benz and want to have that refinement, that luxury, that sportiness. The A-Class is perfect for them. So today we'll give you an overview of this car on the outside, give you a full walk around, get you inside as well. It's not a large car on the inside, but it is definitely still up to par with Mercedes-Benz standards in the refinement and quality and material you have come to expect from a Mercedes-Benz sedan. Before we get going here, please hit that subscribe button and like this video. And I think without further ado, it's time to get going. So under the engine of the 2021 A220, there's only one engine offered, and it's this four-cylinder turbo engine with 188 horsepower and 221 pound-feet of torque. The engine's pretty basic. You got your nice Mercedes-Benz star right there. If this was the AMG version, the A35, there'd be a nice AMG logo there. This car, by the way, before we get too deep into this, does have some AMG markings on it. It's got the AMG package, you know, AMG type wheels right there, some AMG badging on the inside. But back to the engine here. This is a really nice, refined, quick, sporty engine still. About 0 to 60 in 6 seconds or so, which is not horrible at all compared to some counterpart vehicles that are just the same size. 0 to 60 about 6 seconds. That's for the 4MATIC, which this car is. Now, if you bump up to the A35, which is the AMG version of this A220, the AMG A35 sprints to 60 in like 4.3, 4.5 seconds. It's super quick. Now, this 4MATIC version of the A220 costs about $36,700 to start, $36,700 to start, but the overall A220 starts around $34,000, which is really kind of a bargain to get yourself into a Mercedes-Benz, a brand new car, all the luxury and refinement of the Germans here. The EPA estimates are mid-20s for city driving, about 24, 25, 31 or so on the highway, and then for a combined of about 27, 28, depending on how you drive, where you are, the fuel you have, and just overall driving conditions. But not bad at all for a car that has some sportiness to it. So since this car does have the AMG package and some AMG styling, it's got the nice diamond block grille up front with the massive Mercedes-Benz emblem. I think the emblem to car size ratio has got to be extraordinary. That thing is massive, and this car is not so massive. Over here, the LED lights up front are standard on the A-Class on both sides. They're really pretty lights, especially whenever it's obviously gets darker outside. You got your built-in sensors right there, one there in the on the right side, left side. They're kind of hard to see, which I guess is the point. They're nice and hidden there. I love the grille actually from the side. Let me get over here. It's completely flat. Look at this. Completely flat. Doesn't stick out or anything. The lower lip spoiler is there, but not as pronounced as I maybe would like it. But again, this is not the fancy A-Class at all. This is just the A220 entry-level version. And speaking of entry-level, no matter what one you get, A-Class wise, all of them come with a panoramic sunroof. Look at that. Beautiful. Big pane of glass up top. All of them come with that no matter which A-Class you decide to get. So even the entry-level beginner model ones have that. But I love the front of this car. Really nice, commanding, gives you that nice Mercedes-Benz presence right away. It's unmistakable what you're driving when you pull up in one of these. And no matter which A-Class you get, it comes with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission mated to that 4-cylinder engine. That's the same for the A35 as well. Obviously, the A35 has much more power, about 302 horsepower versus the 188 in this thing. Let's talk about these wheels real quick. The standard wheel or rim on the A220 is a 17-inch. These are 18-inch AMG wheels. You can see the stamping right over there. That's because this car does have the AMG package. Also has the perforated front discs here. In the back, they are not perforated. I don't mind these rims at all. They're a little basic, a little too small for me because, I mean, the tire, look how thick the tire is compared to the rim. I love kind of low-profile tires, but again, you're not having this is not the top-of-the-line A-Class at all here. But front-wheel drive standard as well. This car does have the 4MATIC option. And these are Bridgestone 225 45 R18s all the way around here on this A220. The discs at the back, like I said, are not perforated, but they're still there. Brake discs, obviously, all the way around. Beautiful rims for an entry-level car. They could be a little bit bigger, a little bit more aggressive, in my opinion, but hey, Mercedes-Benz wants your money if that's what you want. So let's talk side profile for a minute. I love the side profile of this. It's definitely a small car, like I said, 179 inches long, 179.4, I believe, actually. Up front, a really kind of short hood, not much to it, and guess what? There's even less on the trunk. Look how short this thing is. There's absolutely no trunk space at all. I'll tell you about the cargo space in a second. That's really the biggest con with this car. There's absolutely no trunk space. But again, the side profile, I don't mind at all. The windows are nice and large compared to a car of this size. Now, you can opt for the night package on this. The night package actually blacks out right here, all this chrome is around the windows, and also puts a black housing unit over the side mirrors there. But overall, not a bad side profile at all. I really kind of enjoy it. Mercedes-Benz sportiness, Mercedes-Benz design, Mercedes-Benz aggressiveness, even in this entry-level car. Let's also talk 2021 and what's new. Blind spot monitoring is now new, a standard actually, rather. In all of these cars, you can see the blind spot monitoring triangle right there. If you look real hard, most Mercedes-Benz have them, so if you've seen them on other cars, they look pretty much the same. But blind spot monitoring is now standard on the A-Class for 2021, and as is a 64 light ambient display, or 64 color ambient light display on the inside, so you can pick from 64 different colors to make the inside of the car all kinds of fancy colors, like a nightclub almost. And while the sun was still shining this direction, I really wanted to show off the back view looking forward, because I love just how sleek it looks. The rear haunches really aren't pronounced at all. The car is streamlined. These big LED lights wrap around the car from the side to the back there. They're really nice and smoky. They're kind of blacked out in some areas, especially right here towards the back. The LED backing up rear reverse lights as well. They look really, really pretty. They're really nice. They look streamlined. They look smooth. They look like they're in place. There was some design given to it, some thought given to it. Your A220 badging right there, the 4MATIC over there on the right side of the car, the other light, obviously. A really beautiful color. You've got nice twin exhaust back here as well. An attempt at a rear diffuser. The one on the A35 is much more pronounced, much more actual real world sporty, I think, but this one actually is not bad for kind of a basic kind of entry-level car. The trunk, we should talk about it. Let's get inside and talk about how small this freaking trunk is. So I told you the trunk was small, right? How small? 9 cubic feet. 9 cubic feet. It sounds small, and it is. Competitors, the Audis, the BMWs of the similar series and class and levels, all beat this. 9 cubic feet, not really that impressive at all, but you do have the basics of a trunk, but there is no spare tire either. That is empty down there when you lift up that little board. I do appreciate that Mercedes-Benz, along with a lot of car companies, is covering this arm from the trunk lid down into the actual space of the trunk. That way that it's not whacking any bags or getting in the way at all. You do have your back seat releases right here. You have to obviously push them down further, but only 9 cubic feet here in the back of this A220. It really is the biggest problem, biggest con of this smaller Mercedes-Benz. But again, bite size, not massive. If you can live with 9 cubic feet, you can live with 9 cubic feet. The seats do go down obviously as well to increase cargo space, but look at that lip, or this the pass-through. It's not very tall from here to here. Let me get the sun out of the way. Not very tall from here to here. So if you've got some larger bags, they may not fit. Just keep that in mind. You're not going to be hauling a ton of stuff in this A220. And while we're back here at the trunk, I want to talk about this, the hidden rear view camera. It is this right here. It goes up into a little cave, a little space, and is hidden from all the elements, from the road dirt, from the salt, from all the dust, and all the things that kick up on the road. I love that, because so many times you go to drive your car, put it in reverse, and all the dirt has distorted your image. It's blurry, you can't see. So why even have a camera at that point? Mercedes-Benz is spending the extra money to put these cameras up into the little space whenever they're not in use. I think it's a perfect option, and all car companies should think about doing this. All right, I usually start up front of the car inside, but I'm going to start in the back. I've got this seat right where I would keep it for me to drive, but look at this. My feet, the front of my feet are underneath the front seat, and my knees are about an inch away from touching this seat, so there is not a lot of legroom back here at all. There's also a very large bump for the four-wheel drive system, which is going to be in the way if you're a tall person at all. But what's not bad is the view from back here. Look at this. Mercedes-Benz kept true to their legendary luxury, legendary refinement, and just stunning attention to detail. Look at this cockpit. Sometimes when you buy an entry-level car from a luxury brand, it looks anything but luxury. It's really heavy on the entry level. Not in this A-Class. It is beautiful. I love the big steering wheel, all the chrome everywhere. This car does have the upgraded dual 10.25-inch screens up there. They're beautiful. I just love it. But back here to the back seat, we'll get up front in a second. You'll be amazed and shocked, perhaps, to find out that this Mercedes Benz A220 has the exact same rear legroom as the CLA does. 33.9 inches, which is amazing. So that car is bigger, but they have the exact same rear legroom. Go figure, right? The leather back here, really nice black with white stitching. The seats are firm and comfortable. They're not super squishy and conforming to the body, which might get a little bit annoying on a longer trip. Which also might be annoying back here if you are a tall person at all, because look, there's like no room there at all, and you know I have the similar no room over here. But what I do appreciate back here is that the ceiling is a little bit taller than you might expect. I'm not hitting the ceiling at all. There's nice little cutouts. Let me see if I can get it on the camera here. The curving of the roof. There's a nice cutout from my head back here, so there's plenty of room actually to make sure that your head is not whacking the inside of the car. There you go. Sorry, the sun is so bright today, which is good on some angles, but not all. Up here you do have a nice map light, reading light. You can hold or hook on a coat or a nice suit, jacket or something. Both sides do have that. You also have two USB-Cs back here. 1, 2, a nice little storage area. There are 5 USB-Cs in total in this entire car, which is a ton. Little back pockets here, little nets on both sides. You also got rear controls for these vents. The vents are very, very similar, and actually not even similar. They're exactly the same of the vents up front. They're just obviously a little bit smaller. What I also love about this too, let's listen to the door real quick. Solid Mercedes-Benz. Look at this. They put little lock buttons in the back, which is great. I don't know if that's a German thing entirely, because I've seen it a few times before, but I thought maybe people got away from liking that. But this Mercedes-Benz A220 has the rear locks, which is great. That way anyone can get in and out when they want to, right? I do like these handles too. Check these out. I'm sorry the coloring here is really kind of crappy, but I love these. Almost look like they should be out of a big Ford F-150 or a big truck or something, right? They're nice. They're solid. They feel great. They've got nice chrome accents on the outside too. They feel sturdy. They're just a different way to do a handle instead of just doing something basic on the door. This is really kind of cool. The back seat in general though, not an extremely exciting place to be because it's so small and so tight. Again, that hump there in the center, definitely going to get in the way if you're a taller person. But what is really great is just the view of that cockpit and that driver's seat up front. Let's get up there. All right, so getting in the front, the car is already on. Let's do a door test up here as well, just for fun. Here we go. Haha, solid. Sounds good, right? Let's zoom out so we get a better view of everything. Look at this cockpit. I mean, it feels like you're driving some big GT car, and you're not. You're in an entry-level A-Class. This one costs about, what, $45,000? Let's just talk about overall appearance, though. I love these huge vents in the center. Your eyes are drawn to them right away because they're so cool looking, and they got the chrome around the outside and the chrome on the inside. They feel sturdy. They feel really well made. They feel like they're meant for a long haul, which this car is well built, obviously. Let's talk about the steering wheel. I love that this little chrome piece here actually has the things stamped, the lettering stamped on there instead of actually just printed, because after years you could rub the printing away. On both sides it is printed, or stamped rather, not printed, stamped onto these little chrome pieces, which is just awesome. The volume button feels nice as well, feels well made. So does the cruise control button over here. Let's talk about the ways to control these massive screens. Look at these things. They're beautiful. Two 10.25-inch screens. That is an option on this car. They come standard, the A-Class does, with a 7-inch screen. This is, as I said, the 10.25 inches on both of them. That's an upgrade. Let's go over here and just put backwards. So this little toggle switch right here, it's actually a little touch pad, controls the screen in front of you. See, I'm swiping between the speedometer and the odometer, and then you can go in the center and actually scroll up and down and change things there as well. Let's zoom in a little bit more. So you can change, you know, your miles, your consumption. You can talk about your speed or show your speed. Anything you want to display, you can do it right there. You can also toggle over to the actual odometer itself and toggle to have those things show up there if you want navigation, all sorts of things, which is great. Then on this side, this controls that screen. So pretty easy to understand, right? So you can swipe on that little black button as well, and that will change things on that screen. You can also change things on the screen by swiping yourself. 1, 2, 3, look at that, pretty easy. And one more option, you can even scroll on this massive touchpad. So there's 3 ways to control this middle touch screen here, which, by the way, it like extends, let me zoom out, it extends like halfway across the dashboard. It's beautiful, I love it. But again, I love these big vents. There are 5 of them, 5 of them. 1 over there, 3 in the center, and 1 over there. 5 up front, just nice attention to detail, really beautiful, well made. They feel nicely designed and ready to go. I love the piano buttons, or the piano style dual zone climate control here as well. You do have all sorts of options. Now watch these little vents whenever you change the temperature. So there's going down to colder. Here's making it hot. You can barely see it because it's bright out, but look, you can see it's changing colors. Changing blue, changing red. That's just part of that 64 color light ambient display system that Mercedes-Benz now has as standard on these A-Class cars. Down here at the touchpad, surrounded in like black gloss and chrome trim, really beautiful. A nice place to rest your hand whenever you're controlling the touchpad. Your dynamic driving modes button is right here. Of course, standard across all Mercedes. Eco, Comfort, Sport, Individual. Some of these, the A35, I believe, actually comes with a slippery option for that kind of like maybe like rainy or snowy weather. Down here as well, you got your big car button if you're going to change anything in the car. Active brake assist, attention assist, ESP, blind spot monitoring, all things vehicle that you'd want to change. You can customize pretty much anything in Mercedes-Benz these days through their MBUX system. MBUX, Mercedes-Benz User Experience is what that stands for, by the way. Back down here, you've got your volume control over here as well. You can also push in this button, and that turns off the whole audio system. So that's how you turn it off, is pushing in that button. Navigation, map, radio, media, telephone, all things media down there as well. There's another USB-C right there. The key, which is beautiful, by the way, sitting right there. All Mercedes-Benz keys now look like this, nice and smooth and sleek and slim, not heavy at all. This center little cup holder here, watch this. You can make a smaller drink fit by popping these out. So if your drink is smaller and this big hole's too big, this will now hold it in place. Inventive, these small attention to detail, that's what makes Mercedes-Benz stand out and separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Back up at the steering wheel, which I love, by the way, flat bottom on the bottom here, the nice switches, or the paddle shifters rather, switches, why am I saying switches? The nice paddle shifters, they feel sturdy. They feel great, nice to the touch, and they're not plastic at all. If they're plastic, I'm being fooled. They feel really, really great. I love the chrome trim around the entire airbag area as well. The steering wheel is not heated, I don't believe, in this particular car, but the leather feels great. Top quality stuff here the entire way around. Nice thick grippers here, especially if you're doing more sporty type driving. But overall, the cockpit, a really nice place to be, and just upscale all the way around. Let's talk about the doors here, the chrome trim around the power seat buttons. Look how nice that looks. Again, this is an entry-level car, so you know you're not in the Hyundai or something, but look how nice this looks. It feels awesome too. It's not some plastic insert. It feels awesome. You can actually feel the ribs. Yeah, can you hear that? You can feel those little stripes. You got all your buttons there for the power seat. You got your heated seat as well, memory on both sides, automatic up and down windows. Dun, 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 dun. That's awesome. I love that every window has that as well. The big, nice handle, like I said before, this car has on all 4 doors, which is really great. I do love the way that the doors do look. This driver's side looks pretty much the same. Really great chrome trim as well. It really kind of adds to the overall appeal and luxury of this car. Over here, of course, all your light options, parking brake, and just look at the dash actually from the top. It's like a little ledge. There's a little ledge here, there's a little ledge here above all the vents, there's a ledge the whole way over. I don't think you can really lay anything there. Maybe a phone right in there. There's a nice little crack, but in general though, I just like that it's a nice ledge. It kind of just changes the way that most cars do it. Most cars are a nice straight center console and they kind of swoop up, and that's all you got. Mercedes-Benz is changing the name of the game, changing the game and leading the pack, I'd say. Look at this huge one big screen. It's 2 screens, but one big piece. It's massive. It's so cool. I just think it's awesome. But the again, this ledge, I think it's really cool. The ledge is just, it's unique. It's a different way to do it. Let's talk more about this MBUX system. You see down here where it says themes, you can actually swipe up and then change the appearance of your whole display. Let's make it like a lounge. Yeah, it puts on softer music, makes things more swoopy, more relaxed. Oh, look at the ambient lighting just changed. You can see it everywhere. It just added that to the car. So it changes no matter what you want. Let's go back up to home and go back to themes again. Let's change it to, let's say we want to take a long trip and we want trip-minded things. Then it changes it and puts your miles per gallon over there. It puts your traveling distance to the car in front of you. It lets you know about your blind spot monitoring system. And again, look at the ambient lighting. The ambient lighting is everywhere. It's one of the greatest things about this car. Really separates it from the competitors for sure. So I showed you the big panoramic sunroof outside, but here's how you control it. This is the sunshade, which we've all seen before. There it goes. But let's pop it open here, actually. The whole way open. Watch this thing go. Whoa. Beautiful. The sun is shining, the grass is green. No, it's not. It's January. What am I talking about? But yeah, this is a beautiful panoramic sunroof option. I'm so glad Mercedes-Benz is putting this on every A-Class, no matter which one you get. A great option to attract buyers to a more affordable car, but still with all these luxury type options. Yeah, just look at that screen though. It's massive. It is 2 screens. This one is not touch at all. The one in front of the driver is not touch at all, but this one is obviously. One more thing I want to mention is how to get to that 64 color palette for the ambient lighting. When you're at home, which is this right here, scroll all the way over to settings. Go to ambient lighting, under lighting, obviously, go to color, and then look, you can select any color of all these freaking colors. There's so many options, and you can make it whatever color you want within that 64 color palette, which is great. And that'll change the lighting that's underneath here, the lighting in the actual vents themselves, the lighting around the car. Makes it like a nightclub, like I said before. Under home, again, there's so many things you can do. It's almost, like I said, just it's overwhelming, just too much really to get into here in this video. But if you've been in one MBUX system recently, you've been in this one. They're all kind of the same. All the steering wheels and all the cars now look identical almost, which again, I just love these little chrome plates. They feel so nice. They feel great to the touch. All the touch points in this car are great. I forgot to mention the speakers. There are 8 speakers in this car. One right there, one right there, same over here, and then some in the back. It's an 8-speaker a Mercedes-Benz system. There is an optional, the car thinks I'm talking to it. Look at it. Nope, go away. You can tell the car a bunch of things whenever you say its name, which is the same across a lot of Benz cars right now. I'm not going to say it so it doesn't pop on again. But the speaker system, this has an 8-speaker system that is just kind of generic. It's not a brand name. There's an $850 option for a Burmester 12-speaker system, which is really booming, really sounds great. This car does not have it. One more thing I wanted to mention, there is manual thigh support on, I believe, both seats. Yep, both seats, which is nice to have. AMG lettering down there on the floor mats. That's pretty much the only AMG lettering, though, on the entire car, which is kind of sucky considering it does have the AMG package. But I guess that's just is what it is. Let's talk about these seats real quick. So the seats are 8-way power adjustable across the entire car, both sides, which is nice. There is no the classic Mercedes Benz headrest button. Look at this. There's no button for it over here, unfortunately, but you can manually do it. The seats are comfortable. They're not the most soft and supple seats I've ever been in as far as Mercedes goes. They're a little more tough, but again, this is not the top of the line car, so you gotta remember what you're getting into, right? This seats are nice and bolstered though on both sides. They don't inflate, I don't believe. On some cars they do, to kind of like, or not inflate, but they don't grip you rather around corners. The higher end models probably do have that as an option, but this A-Class rather does not. The seat's still very comfortable, very nice, heated as well. The cockpit looks nice from this angle, or the interior looks really nice from this angle, upscale. All the chrome, all the black glossy trim looks excellent. Just a nice place to be overall. So unfortunately, I cannot drive this A220 due to liability reasons, but I'm still so thankful to the folks here at Sun Motor Cars in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Visit them at the link below for letting us take this car out to the parking lot and do an overview of it for you here today. This car, perfect for the younger person with not a ton of money, but still wants that Mercedes-Benz lineage and history and classic sportiness in their driveway. The A220 4MATIC for 2021, definitely a competitor. It should be on your list for sure. Just be aware that the back seat and the trunk are not very big. Without anything else to say, I think that is it for today. Please smash that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. We will see you next time right here on Overdrive Reviews.